Hello YouTube, it's Bella here today, and today I'm going to be talking about Doctor Who Season 9, Episode 7, The Zygon Invasion. Wasn't it slow? And I'm all for Anglo-American relations, but all the accent changing was very, very distracting from the plot. No offence intended, but it was incredibly... I get the whole ISIS link thing that they're trying to do and everything, but it was almost as if it was building to be, it was building up to be like a thriller / tension. It was all there, and then it kind of stopped itself. It was almost like, no, we're a family show, no, and what was those pods? They were really badly done for special effects. You could you couldn't make them out. It was just really, really weird. And I get the three-way split story, great idea, let's go and find where Osgood is, brilliant. And all of that, but it was all a bit trite, really. I mean, we are halfway through and they have brought back the cliffhanger, and we haven't even got like a preview for next week this time. But I just felt that it was a bit grindingly slow. And I love the conversation the Doctor had with those two girls on the monkey bars. Very, very good. Cinderella and Monster High. They were cool. That I liked. But the rest was just so slow. I really liked Kate Stewart. Always liked seeing her. Always liked seeing Osgood. Always liked seeing that gang in unit. But they just don't really fit anymore. Because the Doctor is so anti-guns now. He just doesn't let them do their thing anymore. To the point where it's kind of a bit redundant. And it's sort of there's this inner conflict which is simmering over, and it kind of like, yes, we've got them, but he's clearly just using them for the tech and for the transportation opportunities. Love the whole peace sign as being world president, but even that's a bit kind of trite. It doesn't really sit right. I appreciate like the whole let's finish off the 50th anniversary Zygon subplot, which was cool and should have really been done then, and we are going back to it, but it just feels sort of like undercooked or overcooked or some kind of cookery. I mean, we are halfway through, so it might get better, but I just felt that this whole episode was kind of like, and Clara going bad, you're not bothered. Really not bothered. Can we just barbecue her already? Because I'm just fed up. I think Capaldi is a great Doctor, but I just think the quality of the stories has been epic, but the execution, I don't know, something's not quite gelling, and I'm not quite sure what it is at the moment with it, because the stories are excellent. We've had some really, really good stories. Maybe it's because they want to do everything in 2 parts. Why can't they do sort of like 6 episodes of 45 minutes and then the other 6 as 2-parters, so you'd get 3 2-parters spread out? Maybe that's it. Because at the moment it just feels like, I don't know, like walking through treacle almost. And it kind of, the show doesn't really know what to define itself anymore, because there's a lot of, I'm picking up Torchwood vibes as well, and it's sort of like, is it this or is it that? It's not very clear what it's trying and attempting to do anymore, or it'll go so far and then stop and pull back and be comical, and it's a bit jarring. It's almost like it's like Austin Powers meets Daniel Craig in this weird kind of Bond reference. Spectre is an awesome Bond movie, by the way. Brilliant. Anyway, never mind about Bond, we're talking about Doctor Who, but it just has that kind of jarringness to it, at the moment. It's kind of, you know, I respect the rock guitar 12th Doctor immensely, but it jars. It doesn't flow properly. It almost sort of like, it's like treacle flowing. It's sort of slowly, then stop, then slip, then some more, and it just has that really jarringness to it. Great premise though, love it, but the execution is somewhat inconsistent and gooey, or lack of goo. It sort of wants to go somewhere, then doesn't, then kind of ums and ahs over itself. Really good premise, love it, but execution is somewhat confused. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it, because the accent changing didn't really help, because it was like, what? Not that I've got anything against Anglo-Americans working for unit. It's fine. It works. It's all good. But it was really kind of jarring. Because when one thinks of Doctor Who, one thinks of British people. Yeah, it is. It's a tad jarring on the old ears. Switching accents so quickly. One or two American characters you can cope with in an all British cast, but when you've got sort of like mixing and matching, and that can get annoying, as well as when you've got 3 separate storylines as well to keep up with. It can get confusing because you can forget where you are, because in films you use accents to denote countries as well, because unless somebody's walking around with like a British flag on their head or an American stars and stripes on their head, it's a bit silly. So you use voices to say which country you're in, unless they do the thing where it says New Mexico, Tanzania, or Tanzania, which is very helpful. But all the military stuff was very generic. It didn't really specify anything. Of course, it's not its unit, but it didn't even have like globes on it, so you were sort of like, I can't tell what anybody is. Are they a Zygon? Are they not? There wasn't a very clear way, which is obviously the point, but a little help would have been slightly helpful, because yeah, we want that creepiness, but it was just sort of like, oh, I don't know, I don't really bothered. Oh, it's Clara again. No, I don't really care. When's she going to actually die? Kind of give up caring, and I think that's the problem at the moment. There's nothing that actually makes you care, because Kate Stewart's been saved, Clara's been saved, the Doctor's been saved. Yawn, I'm so bored. Can we please do something where there's actually sort of like a linear story? I know that's kind of boring and trite, but that actually works because you live by moment then. Whereas this elongated, oh, they're going to die. No, they're not, they're saved. You just create an environment of emptiness, of non-caring. Anyway, I think I've burbled on enough. But we are halfway through. I think it will get better next time, I hope. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that box that Osgood pointed out. Love her as a character. Did you notice her 7th Doctor, question marks? The 12th Doctor apparently wears question mark pants. What is the question? The question is easy. The question is Doctor Who. We have known this question. It's the oldest question in the universe. I recommend everybody watch season 6. Matt Smith era. For that. Whoopie-doopie-doo-dah. So that's basically it. I really like the Zygons, but I just feel that they're being let down because they're not actually being shown, which is kind of annoying. Hopefully next time we'll get to see like a load of Zygons zapping people in the streets. That would be fun. You know, Doctor Who should like get out of the shadows and actually allow the monsters to actually do some zapping and some eating and stuff. I mean, hell, Davros with the 6th Doctor was feeding people their dead relatives. You know, actually let the monsters do what they're designed to do. That might help. And actually let some people with guns actually fire them. I know it sounds cheesy, but if there's no conflict, it can cause huge issues with your audience, because it's like having a gun loaded on a table and then not using it. Now in a novel, the gun behind the table will always get pulled out and used. It might not get fired, it might just clunk somebody over the head, but the fact that it's there, once you put the gun in a room, somebody's going to use it somehow, even if they just trip over it, or Auntie Mabel sneezes on it, and that's it. Or you find out the gun is actually a cigar lighter. That would be good. But guns have to be used, or in some shape or form, they have to be a thing of action. You can't non-action around it, which kind of makes Doctor Who very difficult. We'll see, because this is only the first part of the story, but I mean, it was a really slow burner. In short, in summary, slow burner. The 3-way story was good. I liked the hopping from the 3 things, but the accents was a tad confusing because you're never quite sure where you were sometimes, and the fact that we were in New Mexico, which made it even more confusing, but that might just be me. That, or the dishwasher was actually running at the same time. That could have been it. So yeah. So this is Anne at Bella. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your feelings of what you thought the Zygon invasion episode, because I feel that more comments have to be had. I feel that this season of Doctor Who so far is actually a really good season. We're actually more than halfway through now, which is really depressing. But November, Doctor Who Festival is coming. So this is going to be good. So bye.